We are what we repeatedly do. Sean Covey. My friends, finishing up my European travels, headed home tomorrow. I'm flying back during the day and I don't get in until in the evening, so I'm not sure when tomorrow's show will get out. You'll have to excuse me if it is a little late. Thank you, though, for tolerating me while I've been traveling. I've been getting everything uploaded accurately on YouTube. It's just being able to get through the Starlink servers to be able to put up the web page. It's just a bizarre kind of little thing. I think they're trying to make sure that people aren't slipping in underneath their shield, and they're trying to keep certain parts of the web shut down. And I understand the security reasons for that. So I'd have to get to a landline to then be able to upload the web page. So those of you, and that's what triggers the email. That's why the emails have been coming in the middle of the night. But thank you for putting up with me. Let's talk about what things are doing in the market. Got about 10 minutes left. We see the S&P and the NASDAQ are pretty much flat here at the end of the day. Bonds are down a little over 1%. Gold is up 0.38%. And Bitcoin is pounding up 10.14%. So maybe we're going to be getting ourselves into a run-up in Bitcoin. We've been waiting for it. And you know how Bitcoin is. It just sort of fires things off. Now, let's jump into these markets. As always, we jump into the S&P 500. And of course, as we look at what's happening as this week starts, you can see, again, trying to connect candles here. You know, it really is wild how things just popped up out of the blue, even higher last week. That is just a strange, the way it's popped up like that, just banged up big time. So anyway, down just a little bit right now. So pretty much flat, though. It's been going back and forth. We see the high last week was 563.67. This week, 564.84. So it is going a little bit higher already. Don't have anything to speak of when it comes to looking at, volume here. I mean, volume just sort of dropping off the deep end there. You can see we're really, really hammered down. We'll see what happens. We look at the 2-day, of course, nice volume, Wednesday and Thursday. And then, of course, the Friday, Monday, okay volume there. Lower, again, earlier in the week. I'm trying to figure out how that translates in to such low volume on the weekly. But apparently it does. So we'll keep an eye on that. And you can see all the volume here on the half-day chart. So again, just looking very odd. I'm trying to figure where that is coming from. But nonetheless, I mean, when you print money backed by nothing, or really just change decimal points on a balance sheet, things that have value just continue to go up. But right at the end of the day, we see things pulling back some. Now let's take a look at where we are on the Qs. When we look at the Qs, again, it's just about flat. And when I say pulling back, I'm talking about from where it had popped up earlier in the day. We can see the high last week was 503.52. This week, 501. So we've not hit a higher high. And as we look at the 2-day chart, of course, we see a doji here, higher than average volume. So we'll keep an eye on things as this week continues to develop. We can see that for the first day, volume very low. And again, volume decent when it comes to the 2-day for the Friday, Monday. So we'll keep an eye on stocks as they continue. We're, of course, still long on both, particularly on the trade that we are in on the NASDAQ 100. We had just a classic turnaround back there in April as we moved to the end of the month and the Qs turned around. We jumped in and we have been riding that pony for quite a while. Look at where we are on 20-year bonds, down for the day 1.09%. See where bonds really stroked up high in the morning on Thursday and just sort of moved along for the rest of the week and then dropped hard on Monday. So we will keep an eye on bonds and see. I mean, we're not in a trade here because we haven't had any kind of volume, any kind of turnaround that was led in any way by volume that would have gotten us into anything. Gold up 0.37%. Now gold is now moving up toward this ceiling that we have seen before. Is it going to bounce off of it again? And if it does, are we going to use that bounce off to potentially ride it down? We're going to have more because you really didn't have much to ride down last time when it punched off. It just sort of went down a little bit sideways and then back up. But let's see, maybe this third time's the charm and it'll just push right through when it bangs up on the top. We shall see. Hasn't been seen yet. We look at volume, very low, was low last week. Again, on the 2-day, decent volume, and the 2 days already pushed up on it. So we will keep an eye on things and see where gold goes. Now, the big story for the day is HODL. Man, it is a hammering up. 12.12% right now as the day is ending. If we look at the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart, you can, of course, see where this move really started hitting. And that, of course, was back over on Friday. It started up in the morning about 9 o'clock and then just sort of continued on through Friday and then took off even more over Saturday and Sunday. And, really moving up there on Sunday, 10 o'clock at night, 11:15, 2:30 in the morning on Monday, and just kept moving up. Now, overall Bitcoin, 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin is up 4.15%, but of course it's been moving up all weekend long. As that translated in HODL, we can of course see it booming up over 10%. Now we look at volume, don't have volume helping us out a lot on the weekly. We do on the 2-day. You can see where we hit that interim low. We had a red, not a green spinning top, again with average volume, and then things turned around and boomed. You can see again where that Friday, Tuesday, you can see as things moved down, started moving down strong on Friday the 5th, and then sort of bottomed and then traveled on along last week, trying to make a little up move, and then really banged up on Monday. So maybe we've got a turnaround here in Bitcoin. We'll see how this continues to play out and where it might lead us. Again, would love a classic Bitcoin turnaround. That's not really going to be able to happen because we didn't have any volume to give us that interim low. But we'll keep an eye and see what we can learn from this 2-day chart, as it does have some volume in it and what it might teach us as we again learn to trade Bitcoin. It is a bit of a different animal when it comes to the typical ETFs that we deal with. And again, we're still experimenting and learning. You guys asked us to start practice trading this years ago, and we have been doing it for you. Again, look forward to getting back in the States tomorrow and being back with you and back settled into the chair in my hometown, coming to you from the States again. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.